Hi dear friends, good morning. Welcome to my channel. It's Aksha Dare by Devraj. I hope you guys are working towards to improve our communication in English. So let me start today newspaper. Before going to start the today newspaper, I would request you guys to please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. So please, if you like the video, please like and watch the video till the end. How to read the newspaper and how you could improve your communication just by reading the newspaper. This is one of the good skill to improve your communication in English. I'm sure you would improve your communication in English in the next 30 days. It's been already, this is the 20th video and 20th class I'm going to update in the YouTube. So I hope you guys are following the same tips uh, to improve your communication. Let me start today's paper. Let's continue. Let's start reading the newspaper, guys. Let me open the today newspaper. I hope you guys are following the same tips. So this is the end of paper, which is very important for the point of examination. Just read at least 40 minutes to minimum 40 minutes to at least 2 hours. I'm sure you will improve your communication in the next 30 days. Let me open. I am opening the English Bangalore edition in the paper. Let me see what's in the front page. Is the recent the present government the corruption report, you can see. So they have this kind of corruption they have done in the past government. So think about vote before going to vote for the right person. Always vote for the right person who is eligible to serve for the people and serve for the country. Karnataka Contractors Association to remind PM of state BJP's 40% cut. Over 22,000 crore due from Karnataka government. Now 13,000 schools from Karnataka charge Bommai government of corruption, right to PM mode. Lokayuta recovers Rs 6 crore unaccounted cash from BJP MLA's son's house. Karnataka government collects 30% commission from Matsya. Wow, it's very bad. Karnataka BJP MLA Vasanagowda Patil Yatnala alleges he was asked to pay 2,500 crore to become CM. It's too bad. Karnataka Minister's case Ishwara Babakudin contractors suicide case at why he was in news. Why BJP wants a weak CM in Karnataka? Yes, maybe the only reason. PSI recruitment scam. Audio clip of BJP MLA admitting to taking bribe goes viral. Yes, of course, this is true. And a big basket. Let me go to the front page. What is in the news other than the corruption? So, Central Security Forces flood crisis hit Manipur. Paul takes back a decision to resign as NCP president. The endurance athletes of Jantar Mantar hire for farms sorties to watch over Manipur. Meghalaya moves to bring natives back home. Five soldiers killed in a gunfight with militants in Rajouri. India's decisions on J&K slammed the door shut on talks. Modi roadshow in a city modified again due to need. Sri Narendra Modi and Nama Bengaluru Nama MA. HC declines to stop roadshows by political parties for poll campaigning. Modi roadshow traffic police ask people to avoid key roads today. Students' parents worry about traffic restrictions on the day of NEET. Clear stray dogs and monkeys. Problems gallo, but they rarely become election issues in application Nagar, Shivajinagar, and Sarvagyan Nagar. Sarvagyan Nagar. Come, let's compare. Don't compare, man. It's really no for this. Psychology of design. Property plus homes and real estate news. One plot, three owners. Your property related legal queries answered by S.C. Raghuram, partner, rank associates, a law firm. By simply providing employees with areas to recharge and keeping the comfort too in mind, engagement and productivity will rise. Operation Kaveri, 97 persons from Karnataka land in city. BIL2 is a public authority, comes under RTI rules commission. We get better returns abroad than you, says Haki Pikki returnees. Many Akipiki tribal people who earn their living by selling herbal products travel abroad every year. Modi drops development plan, accuses Congress of nurturing terrorism to appease vote bank. He refers to the film The Kerala Story to argue that it represents terrorism that undermines society from within. Prime Minister shouldn't defame people of Kerala. Modi has created new class of voters that is immune to political narratives. Manipur violence he pointed to BJP double engine failure. Says Jairam Ramesh Sonia Gandhi to campaign in Hubballi. Linga leaders meet religious heads in Hubballi. After grandfather faints, it's now the son's turn to try his luck here. Protest marches marked the release of the Kerala story. Police personnel were deployed in release center in large numbers. Most districts had only 3 or 4 shows. The movie claims that IS has found Kerala a fertile ground for recruiting youth. Congress leader Aum Man Chandi hospitalized again. Same-sex marriages. Church opposes legal validation. Kerala HC declines to stay screening of film. Police rescue 11 child workers at Vijayawada railway station. Restrain AP from carrying out Velikonda project works. The urgent for India behind the G20 SCO summit. Let me read this editorial page, guys. India's year-long presidency of the G20 and the leadership of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization should not blind us to the persisting challenges the nation faces due to a concatenation of circumstances. It must hence tone down the high expectations that are being generated of reaping a rich dividend from helming the two summits. Golden fees. Let me make it. Let me do global fees on which India's Prime Minister had waxed eloquent at the last G20 summit in the Indonesia is no way in a sight with India holding the reins. Instead, everything points to a further deterioration in the geopolitical climate and to a distinct possibility of impending conflict. Priorities listed by India as signifying its presidency, which climate change, clean energy, sustainable developmental programs, and reform of multilateral institutions are likely to take a backseat given the deteriorating global situation. Consequently, hopes of reaping a rich divided from priorities listed by India as signifying its presidency via climate change, clean energy, sustainable developmental programs, and reform of multilateral institutions are likely to take a backseat given the deteriorating global situation. Consequently, hopes of reaping a rich divided dividend from the summit 3 may be misplaced. India also needs to be aware that the importance of the G20 appears to be declining in today's world. The SCO seems to have somewhat greatest traction. During its presidency of the two institutions, India may well be called upon to chart a course that balances the contradictory demands of the G20 and the SCO, and even more so that of the global south. All this leaves little room for grandstanding, and India should proceed with caution. Two camps and distrust. The world may not as yet be on the brink of a global conflict, but it is perilously close to it. Distrust between the two camps led by the United States and the China or Russia, respectively, leaves little scope for countries such as India that have not declared their allegiance to either camp any room for maneuver. The US and its allies are meanwhile making it virtue of the fact that they are in a position to provide Ukraine with an arsenal of the most sophisticated weaponry available, alongside provision for training Ukraine troops. Today, Ukraine represents a spectacle of possessing substantial quantities of sophisticated modern weaponry. Less obvious is the fact that Russia is also clandestinely receiving equipment and material from its allies, China not excluded. The two sides are thus positioning themselves to demonstrate which set of modern weaponry is superior. Single misstep could well unleash an Armageddon. The process of assembling the most advanced arsenal of weapons in modern history had begun quite some time ago, but it was April that witnessed an apogee of sorts. Apart from US and European nations such as Germany, many nations elsewhere are participating in what is turning out to be Europe's war with a global impact. The list of potential suppliers of military equipment now includes even countries such as South Korea, risking the threat that supplying arms to Ukraine makes them a participant in the conflict. The issues for India began with China. For India, apart from the war clouds on the ASEAN and in Europe and tensions in the East for Pacific, there are several issues of deepening concern. Foremost is how to deal with a rampaging China. Currently, on a major diplomatic strategic offensive across Asia, especially West Asia. This is further accompanied by a display of its naval prowess in the seas around much of Sea East and Southeast Asia, and a flexing of its military muscle in the Ladakh and Arunachal sectors of the Sino-Indian border. China is unlikely to be deterred by the vanilla laced response proffered by India's Defense Minister Rajnath Singh during this recent meeting with his Chinese counterpart, General Li Shangpu, was that improvement in ties with China would depend on peace and the border. This is only likely to reduce room for maneuver on India's part at a time when China is launching several other regional initiatives to checkmate India in the Indian Ocean region. Via the China-India Ocean Region Forum, which has seen participation by an overwhelming majority of Indian Ocean states. Also, and unlike India, which seeks to limit the conflict with China to border issues, China is seeking to widen the arc of conflict with India. Currently, China is targeting India for going closer to the US and the Western Bloc for its partnership in the Quad, India, Australia, Japan, and the US, as well as its participation in maritime surveillance exercises with the US, Japan, and Australia. China is also actively engaged in seeking new friends in India's extended neighborhood in a bid to limit India influence in this region. West Asia, once a region where India's influence was preponderant, appears to be fast yielding to China's muscular and diplomatic offensive, notwithstanding India's attempts to reach out to erstwhile friends such as Egypt. The Egyptian president was the chief guest of the Republic Day parade this year. India seems to have been sidelined given the major churn in West Asia, much of it on China's initiative. The new China brokered India, Iran, Saudi Arabia entente is setting the stage for major diplomatic shifts across the region, marginalizing India and certain other nations. India is not unaware of China's hostile intentions overall. It is well aware of China's ability to embark on hybrid warfare, including the adoption of cyber tactics, engage in the politics of water by redirecting the Himalayan rivers and adapting to modern conditions, the tactics popularized by the 5th century BCE Chinese strategist Sun Tzu, the of winning wars without fighting through avoiding the enemy's strength and attacking his weaknesses. Caution has to be in India's watchword. The neighborhood and Russia. Other turmoils in India's immediate neighborhood in South Asia compound India's problem. The situation in Afghanistan appears to be steadily worsening. Events in that country are now beginning to affect nations on its periphery. India has meanwhile lost all traction with the Taliban in Afghanistan. Pakistan and Sri Lanka, at two different degrees, represent worst case scenarios. India's relations with Russia also appears to be entering a prolonged phase of uncertainty. Russian ties are not unnecessarily anchored in defense cooperation, but this has been a key factor in cementing their relations. As India looks more to the West, especially the US, for state of the art weaponry, the inevitability of the relationship can no longer be guaranteed. With the Russia-China strategic relationship getting stronger, and both countries openly giving vent to their belief in the utility of such a relationship. Strains are inevitable in India-Russia relations. Russia's unequivocal attack on the Quad during the SCO defense ministers meeting in New Delhi recently is a point to the winds of change that are becoming evident. In the meantime, other facts involving Russia, such as the tripartite Russia, India, China platform and BRICS, have lost much of their dynamism. The economic content of the bilateral relationships is limited, and for the present, linked to retaining in oil, imparting little dynamism to the relationship. The moot point, hence, is that while India is one of the few countries in the world which has managed to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic and the resultant economic crisis without much damage, and is widely seen as a prospective global power, it has much to do before it attains this pinnacle. There are many obstacles that have to be overcome before India can achieve its predetermined goal. Well, before this, and notwithstanding its fortuitous position of helming both the G20 and SCO simultaneously. India should not claim to have attained its goal. This is about the India, China, and Indians of G20 and SCO summits. So read if you didn't understand once, just read twice to get to know the exact details about this. Let me read this. The switching on India's smart electricity future. Imagine a future where your electricity meter becomes your advisor on all things electricity. It tells you about your electricity use during different times of the day, months, and seasons. It notifies you about changes in forward tariffs so that you plan your activities during low tide periods. It finds you are to appliances that are using more electricity than they should and suggests options to replace them with new efficient ones. It even allows you to trade solar power directly with your peers. All this on a mobile app. India is witnessing the future unfold now. More than 5.5 million smart meters have been installed in India and over 10 million sanctioned. The target is to replace 250 million conventional electric meters with prepaid smart meters by 2025 to 26. India is supporting this initiative through a results linked grant financing to help power distribution companies become financially sound and efficient to deliver better services to consumers. However, there are also on ground challenges, reaping technology benefits. A recent study by the Council of Energy, Environment and Water found that the majority of smart meter users have already begun to experience some of the technology benefits. The study covered about 2,700 urban households that use prepaid or postpaid smart meters across 6 states. Of the users reported improvements in billing regularly, and two-thirds said paying bills had become easier. Around 40% of the users alluded to multiple co-benefits such as greater sense of control over their electricity expenses, a drop in instances of electricity theft, and improved power supply to the locality. In fact, 70% of prepaid smart meter users said they would recommend the technology to their friends and relatives. These findings give confidence that India's smart metering transition is heading in the right direction. There are some road bumps, though, for instance, of the users who are not using the smart meter mobile app, and many were unable to access retired electricity bills, leaving them be doubtful about their bill computation and deductions. Solving these will help bring a smart meter revolution in India. How actors can step up as India marches towards its vision of a financially sound and digitalized power sector through smart metering interventions, it must pursue a user centric design and deployment strategy. Here are four sessions on how diverse actors can step up. First, the Ministry of Power should drive a nationwide campaign to educate consumers about smart meter benefits and improve the uptake of smart meter apps. The app should be accessible to users from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds and provide actionable tips and information. This is important as user satisfaction with smart meters is linked to their ability to access and disapprove online bills and perceived technology benefits. High user satisfaction in Assam and high uptake of the mobile app in Bihar indicate learning opportunities and how to scale smart meter usage for discoms in other states. Second, discoms must co-own the program and take the driving seat. The majority of smart meters in India are being deployed by the advanced meter infrastructure service providers. responsible for the installation and operation of the AMS system for the project lifetime 10 years. Discoms must closely work with AMISPS to ensure a smooth installation and recharge experience for users. To leverage smart meter data for revenue protection and consumer engagement. For these, Discoms will need to strengthen their internal capacity through suitable staffing and training interventions. Third, Discom system integrators and technology providers should collaborate to devise innovative and scalable data solutions. Effective use of smart meter data is fundamental to unlocking their true value proposition. This would require an ecosystem for that fosters innovation in analytics, data hosting, and sharing platforms, and enables key actors to collaboratively test and scale new solutions. Fourth, policymakers and regulators must strengthen regulations to empower consumers to unlock new retail markets. Currently, important provisions concerning phase out of paper bills, higher adjustment, frequency of recharge alerts, buffer time, rebates, and data privacy are scattered across different regulatory orders are simply missing. Their incorporation within existing state frameworks will be crucial for a positive technology experience for end users. Regulators must also enable simplification and innovation in toy design and open the retail market to new business models and pros prosumers, producers, consumers, and storage users. In a progressive step last month, the Ministry of Power proposed amendments to the electricity rules to enable time variable tariffs for all smart meter users. India is on a unique journey of meeting its growing electricity demand and while decarbonizing its generation out sources. Smart meters comprise a critical part of the transition toolbox by way of enabling responsible consumption, efficient energy management, and cost-effective integration of distributed energy resources. A user-centric design and deployment philosophy will be crucial for the success of the India's smart metering initiative. This is about the smart meter for electricity. So just almost this is not important for the fund of examination. So let me continue. Go to the next page, and I'm going to hand this newspaper reading in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Please subscribe to my channel and like and comment, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So I will bring some more important informative videos in the upcoming videos. Symptomatic stall, ground zero, endurance athletes. In a test of staying power, their physical and mental strength pushed to the limit. Women and men wrestlers, some of them Olympians, some medal winners, and many who are learning the ropes stay put at Jantar Mantar, protesting against alleged sexual harassment by one of the most powerful politicians in the sport. This is too bad. Central Security Forces floods crisis hit Manipur. Border situation is stable, says China Foreign Minister. Quinn says both sides should draw lessons from history and embark on a new path of harmonious coexistence. India has maintained that this is possible only after LAC disengagement is completed. Why is BJP afraid of a caste-based survey? Asks Lalu Prasad. Real-time operational picture among several automation initiatives are forming. Central looks into options to counter EU carbon tax plan. HC seeks presence of health secretary in rare diseases case. We see director of SHUATS perpetrated mass conversion. UP police tells SC. Pakistan Minister is a promoter of terror industry. Jaisenko. We would like India government to create an environment conducive for talks. Pakistan Foreign Minister says India's action on August 5, 2019 slammed the door shut on the process to restore issues between the countries. Water should not be weaponized, India and politicized. He says on a reopening talks on Indus water. IF carrying out sorties from Assam airfield to water over Manipur. Meghalaya organizes special prides to shift people from Impal. 5 soldiers killed in gunfight with militants in Rajouri. Prime Minister Modi to attend a Bastille Day parade in Paris. Congress counters Amit Shah's claim on a language promotion. CBI raids office of Jet Airways founder's house in Broad case. MGNREGAS workers may get text message confirming their attendance. Takedown videos claiming spices contain cow dung. Nepal's RSP withdraws support to the Prachanda-led government. Russia's Wagner chief threatens to pull troops out of Bakhmut. Civilians complain of neglect as fighting rags rages on in Khartoum. U.S. Nationality Security Advisor Jake Sullivan to visit Saudi Arabia. COVID pandemic is no longer an emergency, declares WHO. Conservatives do poorly in England's local elections. Another mass shooting in Serbia claims 8 lives. China calls Canada's summoning up envious land with defamation. Jan to March gold demand falls 17% on high prices. Premal Enterprises Shriram takes stake leads to Q4 loss of around 96 crore. Accenture appoints Sanjay Vij as India MD. SEBI is said to direct brokers to limit use of financial influences. This is our sports page. Titans broke no resistance from Royals, consolidate their position at the top. Neils Prius gold with world leading effort of 88.67 meter. Hammer bowling will be tested by a strong CSK batting. Royal Challengers batters versus capital bowlers could decide the outcome of the contest. Napoli's 33-year wait for the Serie A title come to an end. Recovering Nadal pulls out of the Rome Masters. Leicester's protest committee is formed to discuss way forward. Mirabai Chanu finishes 6th in Asian weightlifting championships. Indian archers claim 14 medals. F1 needs to do better to avoid boring fans. Hamilton. With T20 leagues on the rise, cricket going football's way. Weekend sport, that is the stars align for Silent King Ding. The 30-year-old path to becoming China's first male world chess championship was filled with both obstacles and miracles. Pushed to breaking point, he simply refused to yield, and when he saw his moment, he seized it by playing bravely to script history. The enduring genius of Steph Curry, for the four-time NBA champion, is continuing to drop jaws in boss games at 35. He has lifted Golden State Warriors out of adverse situations this season, and if the team is to have a shot at defending its title, its talisman will have to keep conjuring up the extraordinary. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys are following the stream and reading the newspaper at least for 2 hours minimum exactly at daily to improve our communication. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment for education related videos, health and personal interviews. So I hope you are doing the same, and see you in the upcoming videos, guys. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great day.